Welcome to my next project. Today on my next project, I don't know if you guys watch John Heisz videos or not, but on his videos recently or a few months ago actually, he made a like a cabinet or a bookshelf for storage in his shop. Today I'm going to take this bookshelf I got from my work and add another one similar to it to the back of it and make a storage cart for my shop. Here I'm just going to start off by rough saw this with a circular saw, and I'm going to clean up the edge here on the table saw. And now I'm going to cut all of the sides and shelves out of this piece of plywood. That first piece I cut will actually end up being the bottom. I think I'll trim it to final length here in a minute. Now I'm going to cut all of the sides and the top and bottom to final length. I will also go ahead and cut a couple of shelves here at the same time. This will all make sense here in a second. Since this was some older plywood, I went ahead and sanded everything while I had them apart. And you can see it was definitely yellowed a little bit because it was definitely older. To save time, I went ahead and batched out drilling all of the holes and then drilling countersinks at the same time. Glue and screws is the choice for this project. Nothing fancy since it is a shop project. So now I'm just going to attach this with screws. Now we're going to spin it around and put the bottom on, or the top. I don't remember which is which. It doesn't really matter at this point. Again, choice is glue and screws here as well. Once I finish screwing the top and bottom, I'm going to get ready to do the shelves. The top shelf I actually glued and screwed so it'll be permanent where it's going to be affixed at. And you can see that's what I'm doing here is adding glue. I don't know if you could tell, but I have a spacer in place there with that clamp to make sure it's spaced properly on the top, on the left and the right side, and the top and bottom of the shelf. Now I'm just going to move it over and reapply that clamp right here. And then again, glue and screws here to hold this in place. Shop project, so nothing fancy as I said before. Just get it done. Now I'm going to trim the bottom piece to the final width. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to put both of these shelves on this cart here so that they are able to move around the shop. Now I'm going to come back to the table saw here and cut these boards. These will be what I use to attach the wheels or the casters for. I'm going to glue and screw these in place. They're going to be brad nailed here temporarily, and then the screws will go through the casters and into the bottom. And you can see that happening now. I also went ahead and cut some of those little inserts like that to use as shelf holders so I could make removable shelves. And that's what I'm attaching here, is some of the extras. I'm just going to glue and brad nail these in place so that when I want to come back later and add a shelf, or if I want to remove a shelf, I can do so. And that's all this is for, is just to have some shelves to be added later. I don't have any more scrap plywood at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and add these in there and plan on going back later. And I decided the brad nail wasn't enough, so I went back and put screws on all of these. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this wooden side to the base here. I'm screwing it in place to help hold it. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to point out here in just a second where I put two screws in place in the corners of this black metal cabinet. This is where it's attached to the other side. This will help just hold it in place and makes this thing a lot stronger where it's not going to go anywhere. And you can see as I'm turning it, it's not going anywhere. Since this is a shop cart, it's for storage, I'm going to go back and add some holders to the bottom of this. This is going to hold things like putty and caulk and things like that. And I'm just getting these things prepared to add to the bottom. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute. And I put some on both sides, and you can see just nice little holders to put that at the bottom. And now the project is completely done. It's not completely filled up yet, but it's getting close. Nice storage that can be moved around the shop. Thanks again for watching, and as always, y'all will see me next time.